I was trying to just make a regular video on this. Kind of got a little, not too far ahead, but my phone ran out of storage. So I guess we're just going to do it live. Here's the saw that we unboxed yesterday. First restoration, customer restoration of 2026. This is a really good condition, later 306A. So far, we just took the carb out, checked it for spark. Now we're rebuilding the carburetor. I'm actually discovered that there is a good bit of scoring on this piston. I don't know if you guys can see in there. I hope, maybe. On the bottom of the piston down here, it's got some significant scoring. Um, the saw does have compression. I mean, I'm sure I can get it to run, but since we're going to be in it, we're just going to go all the way, and I'm going to replace the thing. I'm trying to see if I can get a look at that cylinder wall. I can't really see too well, but I'll be in there anyway, you know, during the rebuild or restoration when I'm doing the cleaning, and also, yeah, and I've got another cylinder and piston if it needs it. So it's definitely going to get a new piston. It has to. So there's that. Now we're just taking apart the carburetor, getting all the pieces out. So we're going to clean it. The saw was missing the majority of its intake gasket, and it had a bunch of like gasket maker in there, which was a common fix for people who had these saws back in the day. You know, the parts for them like that were not readily available. If you owned one of these back then, it wasn't like they were selling new tank gaskets and all that stuff. It was more like you had to bring it back to the place you bought it to have them work on it. That's how it was back then. So, yeah, but it's got a good, the foundation's there. I mean, I want to show you guys this too. The diaphragm's in good shape still. As you can see, it's still, it's got some of that gasket shit on there. It's still pliable, diaphragm, no dry rot, no tears, nothing like that. So we'll be able to use that again. It was missing the screen in the top. So we just brushed it out. We're going to clean it. Spray a little bit of carb cleaner in it. You know, where the needle goes, so the needle doesn't stick. We'll clean out the jets behind the butterfly. And this is a great saw. It looks like it also has the wrong, somebody was definitely in this saw at one point, because I'm noticing some of the hardware inside of the carburetor is actually the wrong hardware. Like the little screw that holds the choke in place, the flap, it's got the wrong screw in there. There's actually a significant bit of dirt on the tips of the jets as well, the high and low jets when I pulled them out. Yeah, we're gonna get this thing going today. So the plan is to get it running. We did check for spark. It's got spark, which is good. That's half the battle. And if it didn't have spark, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because I just bought a solid state coil for one of these a couple days ago. It's on its way from eBay, and that was even before I knew I was going to do this. And I bought it because anytime I see coils or things like that for these saws, I buy them. You know, because you never know what you're going to need. But yeah, there's the bodies clean. The reeds, one of them looks like it needs to get flipped over, so I'll flip that over, spray that out as well. I don't know if you can see it on camera here, but you don't want that reed plate sticking up like that. It shouldn't have any give to it. It should be flush up against the actual reed, because you want fuel to be able to go through. You don't want it to be able to come back. So real quick, we'll flip this over. Just take these two little screws out on the reed pedal. Terrible grip. Two tiny little flathead screws. I think as far as we'll get today, it'll be we'll have the whole saw taken apart and cleaned by the end of it. We want to make sure it runs, and then we'll take it all back apart again, clean it out, and then go from there with the rebuild. So yeah, real quick, when you do this, I know a lot of people, they'll take the pedal off and, you know, they start bending it and all that. Guys, sometimes you don't have to do that. Don't bend it. Really, all you have to do is flip it over. That's it. Just flip it over. Because if you get to bending on these enough, they will snap. They are very, very thin. You can snap them. So sometimes you will have to bend them, even if flipping them over doesn't help. Then you might have to play with it a little bit, but it's a gradual thing. You just slowly work a little curvature into it. Putting these tiny screws back in is kind of a pain, but we're going to do it. And I'm confident that that should have closed that up nice and tight. The other three sides look good. They look flush. I can't see any light. That's really a telltale sign. If you can't really see it from the outside, all you got to do is look at the inside. If you can see light coming through all four sides, you're going to have to address the reed pedals for sure. That's the trick I use. I've had about 4 cups of coffee this morning, so I'm a little jittery. I apologize. I'll probably be dropping hardware left and right. I'm sure it's super entertaining. Yeah, see, look at that. Alright, tighten that. Yeah, also too, when I took the carburetor out, there were the 2 screws that go through the front of the carb that attach it to the intake block. Was actually, one of them was loose, like could undo it with my fingers. So somebody had definitely been inside of this saw recently. Yeah, look, check that out. Done deal, you know. It's nice and flush now. You don't have any pedals sticking up. Can't see any light coming through. So give that a little spray on the inside. On the outside, just a little spray. Okay. Now we can get into rebuilding the carburetor. Let me spray the top of this too, clean that up. Okay. Folder. Gaskets that we're going to need. Should I have to cut one of these out? That's okay. This is the best way to go, folks, if you have a bunch of these saws and you know, you do a lot of maintenance on them. Just buy gasket paper, because, you know, and it matches this. This is a piece of the original gasket. It matches it perfectly. Same material. Because one of these gaskets, guys, on eBay is like $12 just for one. I bought, I think, 4 sheets of this stuff for $7 on Amazon. And yeah, you get as many as you can possibly cut out. I'm going to check my other bag so I don't have to cut that out. I may not have to. I think I have some already done in another bag. Let me check really quick. It's just best to do it that way, where you can save money without, you know, compromising quality. Some choke levers. We're looking. Some carb kits in here. The rest of this stuff, this is all carb stuff. Look at all that, guys. All them carburetor parts and carbs. And, yeesh. Even more carburetors in here. Too much. Too much. Some fresh kits, I believe. See what we've got going on. I got this one cut out, so there's our rear intake gasket already done for us. Oh, I know I need that screen because it was missing a screen. There are several companies that that make carburetor kits for these saws. I've had luck with all of them, guys. Right now it's just a matter of preference at this point. I prefer ones that come with the spring for the needle, because a lot of times you'll put a brand new carb in a saw. Oh, also this saw is actually missing one of these too for the jets, so put that to the side. It's going to need it. Sometimes what will happen is you'll put a brand new carburetor kit in one of these, and you reuse the spring because the kits don't come with a spring all the time, and the needle won't move up and down right because the spring is bad. So I prefer to get carburetor kits that come with the spring if I can. All right, several new sets right here. There's a brand new carb kit complete. Put the rest of this stuff away. Toss this old gasket. Just kind of dry rot it. All right. I think we can reuse this needle too. Start with the diaphragm. I don't know. Let's see how. I know that diaphragm is good. Just show you guys a comparison. It's a new one, the original one. Pliable. Like if you open up a carb and this thing is like a potato chip, toss it. Can't use it. Some of them are like that. Give me these top gaskets here. Thick one. What else do we need? We need the diaphragm. Gasket now. You know what? This one's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Clean it off a little bit then. Okay. So let's get the spring and the needle back inside of here with the hinge. Drop the needle down in the hole. A teeny tiny screw. Get that started. Don't thread it in too much because you want to be able to get the little pin for the hinge in there. And we're going to pop the spring in there. That's kind of a pain in the butt because it's so small, and if you squeeze it the right way, it'll fling, you know, and then you'll lose it. Like I find so many of these springs on my floor, it's not even funny. Look, see? They just fly. And it doesn't help when you're all jittery from coffee. I'm really hoping that the weather report we're getting here in Nashville is going to be wrong. We're apparently about to have a pretty bad snowstorm this weekend. I'm used to that. I'm not from Nashville. I'm originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So I'm used to that stuff, but down here they're not. So the littlest bit of snow causes a big problem. Put this back in there. Drop the hinge. This is important, guys. When you set this up, when you put this needle back in the hinge, you have got to make sure that this arm is flush with the carb floor. You have to, because you will be really confused later on. You see how that's flush? You don't want it sticking up, you want it flush. Because when you go to put it back together and that needle's not going up and down, you're going to have problems. You're going to be like, why is my saw flooding, or this, you know. All you got to do is just hold it down with your finger like this, hold it in place. And then tighten your screw. Boom, should be good. Now it has play. So that needle's moving up and down. Good to go. Check it from this direction, make sure it's straight. Because if you put it in like, it has to be, that hinge has to be like this. Because if it's like that, it won't move. It'll get caught up on the sides, and your saw will flood, and you'll be freaking out. What's going on with it? Now we can put the, there is actually 2 gaskets here, guys. I want you to know that. But they're stuck together, which is fine. The soft part goes down first, and then the outer gasket. Just get that piece inside the hinge. Put it on backwards. Just very gently slide it into the little fork that's there. Should be good to go. Put the bottom of the carb back on. 4 screws. Yeah, man, I got a really good feeling about this saw. It obviously does need some work, but we're gonna get it in tip-top shape. I have everything it needs to get it where it needs to be. It looks like it's getting a new piston. May not need a new cylinder, guys. It may not, but when I take it off, I'll check, and then we'll go from there. Bottom of the card back on. Check, make sure that's all tight. Now we can do the top. Our new screen. This is a little big, just pinch the edges up so it fits down in that hole. Then I use my needle nose pliers, little ones, to press it down in there. Make sure it's flush at the bottom. Oh, now it's got a screen. It didn't have one. Alright, then you're going to take your thin gasket. That goes on first. Oh, just like this. Then your new one. Right on top like that. Hopefully this is helpful to anybody out there who doesn't know how to rebuild a carburetor on one of these things. They'll see, like, oops, I dropped it. They'll see an eBay listing for one of these saws, and it'll say it needs a carburetor rebuild, and people are like, oh, well, I don't know, it needs work. I don't want it. Once you figure out how easy it actually is to rebuild a carburetor on one of these, and you understand the function of it and how it works, I'm telling you, if there's a saw I want, it doesn't matter what's wrong with it, I'll fix it. And I'll be honest, guys, like, I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a mechanic at all. I've never been just like mechanically inclined any more than I think the average guy. I think the reason why I ended up learning everything there is to know about these things is because I wanted one of these saws so bad when I was a kid, because I'm a huge Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan. And when I finally got one, I wanted it to run and I wanted it to look good and all that. So there really wasn't anything that I wasn't willing to do to make that happen. So I just taught myself, man, figured out everything there is to know about them. And then, of course, even the company, too, like Poland itself, like I just immersed myself in the whole thing because the saw to me was, one of the most memorable things of the whole film. Like, even when I saw it for the first time in the movie, when Leatherface fires up that saw in the kitchen, everything from the way that it looked and sounded, it was just like, wow, that's really cool. But there you go. Now we've got a completely rebuilt carb. Now we are going to put the new intake gasket on the back. Let's get our razor blade here and clean off any extra stuff from the old gasket. Scrape it off. Alright. Oh, it's the wrong one. This will work, guys. This will work. Press that on top. Yeah, one of these screws. Oh, my kids are home from school.
It's huge.
Is it cold out there?
No, it's not cold.
All right. Bring your stuff upstairs. Kids are home. You smell all that? Smell gas and stuff?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Chat, comment, laughing emoji.
I got 2 little girls, guys. They're both in elementary school.
Ooh, watch it. Ooh, trick shot. Trick shot.
Right, so we're going to get this back together.
What? You want a sled?
Yep, there's our sleds. We ordered sleds, guys, for the...
Can I have the purple one?
Well, I mean, we're going to share them, because 4 of us are going to use them.
Wait, me and Ariana can share the purple one. You have the one.
Well, I'll share them.
Ariana! Dad got a sled! We can share the purple one.
Told you guys we're preparing for some significant snow this weekend, so
Okay, I'll sit in the front, you sit in the back.
my woman and I decided to buy them some sleds. We're all gonna go sledding, and right outside where we live, there's a good bit of hills and stuff. All right. Okay. Girls, so you get like a snack or something, but Daddy's making really good dinner tonight, so don't eat too much food. I'm making some chicken.
I hate stupid fucking oranges. This is what they do. Vegetables. I'm gonna watch your Forsaken thing.
All right, Dave. If you girls do that, would you mind doing it upstairs, please, while Daddy does my stream?
Okay.
Thank you. I'll let you know as soon as it's over.
Okay, now should we go?
Put the jets back in. Now we're gonna do a factory set on these jets, guys. When you put them back in, we're gonna turn them all the way in, but don't like force it. Don't make it super tight. Just enough to where it doesn't go any further. And then factory settings is I think it's a quarter turn out. I do a full turn on each one. Okay, so we're going to turn both of these 1 full turn out and leave it there. That's a good starting point.
I need a knife.
That's it. Leave that like that for now. We're going to throw this gasket's in perfect condition still, so we can use that. This is for the reeds. for the reed block. Put that there. Now, we're not going to put this gasket in right now because, you know, we're going to take the saw apart again, so we'll put this in after it's painted. But at least it has one now because it was missing one. All right. Oh, almost forgetting. Important. The gasket right here. Almost forgot, folks. That's super important because the saw was missing one completely. Also, the customer requested that I make sure that the oil tank was completely airtight and sealed. So we're going to split the oil tank, and I'm going to replace the gasket.
Hey Dad, are
for
you
that
live
too.
on YouTube?
Yes, I am.
I'll join your live stream.
Okay.
I can't comment because I don't have a channel though.
It's okay.
I'll be in the live stream.
But yeah, so we're going to put this in there for Andre. The saw's going to be tip top when it's over with. Let's see. All right. We've got a new. Oh, no. Hang on. Let's see. Where are my utility scissors? Or any scissors? My kids like to take my materials. Ariella, can you grab Daddy's scissors, please, over there?
Yeah.
We're gonna cut out
Here you
a
go.
brand new. We're gonna cut out a brand new gasket really quick. So this is how we do it. Just a snip. I know this is not very entertaining, guys, and I probably should have had a lot of this stuff prepped, but I was just so excited to get started because it's been so long since I've done a restoration. It's been months, it feels like. And I'll film as much of this as I can. I'll go live as much as I can, you know, keep you guys updated on the process the whole way. Then we use an X-Acto knife to get the rest out. So we just cut it out, just like this. I mean, I know I said too, it's like, if you have one saw, like if you have one of these and you want to do some work on it to get it running again, then yeah, I can see why you would, you know, pay $14 for just the one gasket since you only have one saw. You know, I understand that, but for as many of them as I work on and stuff, it just made sense for me to buy the stuff to make it myself instead of keep spending the money on gaskets over and over again. Save a lot of money like that. Alright, so there's the main piece. That out of there. That off. Let's make sure the reeds fit through it good. Yeah. Perfect. Then here's my little trick I do for the holes. I don't know if I've ever showed you guys this or not. I had a hole punch, but I have no idea what happened to it. And I'm also, it looks like I'm missing my drill bit case. At least I don't see it at the moment. Hang on. Oh, there it is. There's a little trick I do. I had a hole punch for that. That's how I clean up the edges. Get a little drill bit. Just like this. Hey, you girls gotta clean your room today. I hope you know that. Thank you. Trying to remember what size it was that I used. Because you don't want to go too big, because then you're going to have problems. There it is. It's really quick.
Hi.
gentle pressure. I'm not going to drill holes in my table. Just to get it started. Then you just hold it up and go all the way. Like that. Nice and clean holes. And then that little spot right here for the top. Gently hold it. Notch it out. And we're good to go. Boom. Brand new gasket. Didn't have to wait 2 weeks for it to show up in the mail. You know, didn't have to spend $14 plus shipping, you know. Took about 60 seconds of my life. Drills back together. Alright. Now we can get the car back inside. So, we put our new gasket on the intake like this. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to check the comments here in a minute too. I'm sure that I've had people stop in and say hi. I hope so. Oh, what the hell did I do? There we go. Put it like that. The reed's in there. Press it where it sits. Now, like I said, guys, I'm going to save this for the end. You know, when I finally put the saw back together for the last time, I'll put this in. But for now, we don't need that. Our main focus right now is just to make sure that the saw is running. We just gotta finesse the throttle linkage back on the little butterfly. It's keep falling out on me. This sometimes can be a little nerve-wracking. You know. Pop right through the hole, just like that. Boom. Make sure that gasket's sitting in the right position. Put our screws back in. Yeah, we will not do anything cosmetic to this saw until we know 100% that it's in running order and it's good to go. It's a lot of work, you know. It's a lot of work to go that far. Unless, you know, I have had customers, you know, send me a saw that's like specifically for display purposes, and they say, hey, I bought this cheap because it doesn't run, you know, I just want it painted, you know, I want it to look like, you know, a brand new saw, but it's for display purposes. If that's the case, then yeah, sure, you know, I'm gonna just take it apart, clean it, and make it look new again. But this one's gonna get a mechanical restoration and cosmetic. And I'm not turning this into an early model. I know a lot of times most of the restorations that I do for people, it's they want their later model turned into an early. This guy specifically requested that we make the saw back to its original condition, and I honestly, I really enjoy doing those kind of restorations for people. I've done quite a few of them. And I try to post all of them. See, guys, look, here's another reason why I should have probably taken the handlebar off. It's kind of a pain to work that little screw in there, because the 306A handlebars sit lower than the 245s. So I actually might have to do that really quick just to get this damn screw in. So I'm not fighting it the whole time. Also, I haven't even gotten a look at this clutch yet, so I guess now is a good time we can look at it together. Okay. That clutch cover is in phenomenal shape. Look at that thing. A little dirt, but it's decal. I'm going to preserve this decal and keep it. So I got new decals for this saw. Clutch is in good shape. Still has its original bar guide plates. Looks like this. Let's real quick. I just want to see if the tensioner screw is bent because that happens a lot. It's a little bent. I may replace that too. Well, maybe not. Seems like it works pretty well. All right, let's crack this off. Just to make it easier on ourselves, folks. Doesn't really take too much extra time to do this either. I will sometimes leave the handlebar on though if I'm working on the recoil side, because the handlebar actually helps with leverage when you're trying to crack the nut off of the flywheel. So, but we haven't even gotten to the recoil side yet because it seems to be working fine. I will address the recoil side when we get there. But right now, the main focus is to see if we can get the saw to run directly off of its own tank by pouring gasoline into the tank and getting it to run that way. Now I did discover, for people just tuning in, I did discover that the saw has some pretty significant scoring on the piston, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I won't be able to get it to run. We are going to replace that piston. Okay. Now, real quick, let's just finish getting the screw in. The handlebars out of the way. Much better. See? Get it started with this little flathead. Usually know when it finally bites. Sometimes it's got to fight its way through that new gasket, the hole. But yeah, see, now it's biting. It should be pretty much smooth sailing from here. But yeah, I mean, people always say, how long have you been working on these saws? Not long. You know, I only learned because I wanted one so bad. You know, and I don't regret it. Alright, now we can tighten it up 5/16 inch. Want to make sure that's airtight. See, already we're looking better. Remember, it had all that gasket maker crap all over the place? And yeah, we don't want that junk. And yes, I will be taking it all the way back apart again tonight, after the fact, so we can clean it out, strip it all the way down. We're going to take the piston and cylinder off, all of that. We're going to split the oil tank. I'm excited, man. I haven't got to do this in a long time. It feels like it's been forever since I've done a restoration. And, you know, people have to say, oh, well, you know, what are you going to do when it's like you run out of restorations to do? It's like, well, then, you know, I'll start making TCM content, because technically, guys, TCM's the reason I do this. You know, that's really what started all this for me. I'll start making more TCM content, or I'll start making other content on the saws in my personal collection. You know, this is just for fun. You know, I never started this channel thinking, oh, I'm gonna have so many followers and all that. That's not why I do this. I'm basically just making content that I would want to watch. Shout out to Classic Poland. Check him out. That's Mike Spencer. He's the OG. That guy, his channel, and a friend of mine, Bubba Sawyer. Shout out to Bubba Sawyer, Josh Hoskins. Um, Bubba Sawyer's channel and Mike Spencer's channel, Classic Poland, were the two channels I watched the most on YouTube, looking for 245 content and Texas Chainsaw stuff. Mike has done so many incredible restorations on these saws, and he's been extremely supportive of me and helpful to me over the last 2 years or so. I've learned a lot from him, and yeah, he's a really good guy and big inspiration to me as far as doing these restorations. Mike does phenomenal work, and he's got 20 years on me. But Mike Spencer and Classic Poland, not necessarily a Texas Chainsaw channel. He's really a Poland guy, which is cool. I've learned to really respect Polands and the saws. That's why Mike does really good restorations on 245s, but he doesn't really, he doesn't hit the crazy details and stuff that I, geek out over when he does a 245, because he's just restoring it into the Poland that it was when it was bought. A lot of the times I'm over analyzing every little detail about these saws. I like to consider it going the extra mile, especially with the Leatherface replicas, like matching all the grime and scratches and all that. Man, I enjoy that. But Mike does great content, and Bubba's made a ton of videos showing off them saws, and it was really good for me because I got to see some of them on film, see what they look like today. A lot of videos. All right. Now let's okay, fuel lines. Should have some pre-cut in here, y'all. Let's see. While I'm going through this bag, let's see if we got any comments. Leo said hi. What's up, Leo? How much snow are you getting? Well, they're saying we're getting a blizzard, so quite a bit, I'm sure. Hopefully not too much, though, man, because, like I said, they don't really handle snow too well down here. Not used to it. Alright, I do have some pre-cut fuel lines. One for the tank, and one for the car. And I got a bunch of replacement fuel filters, but I honestly think the filter that I have on there is pretty good. Let me, in case we'll spray it out. It's good to do that anyway. Clean them, Should always try to clean these filters if you can, guys. But you can also replace them. I buy a bunch of replacements for them on eBay. I get like, I think it's a 36 count for less than 10 bucks. They're a little smaller than the original ones, but it's fine. Also, a little trick here to make things easier. Flathead, put it in the end of the line and spread it out a little bit. Careful not to rip it. Sometimes you will. Stretch the line out a little. Put it over the little flue. Sometimes you gotta kind of finesse it on there, wiggle it back and forth because it's on an angle. It's kind of weird. It's hard to get your fingers in there, but once you do one, it's pretty much easy from there. Oh, gotta do this side too. So already we've got the correct spark plug in there now. Rebuilt carb. New fuel lines. Okay. And we will put a new gas tank gasket in there when we're done restoring it. We're not going to do that now. Just twist that on. Boom. Brand new fuel line for the tank. Give this a little stretch. Just like that. Like I said, I like to do this side first because you don't want this bending all over the place, guys, because it'll snap off. You break that off, you're going to have a whole world of trouble. So I always advise people, if you're going to, when you take these fuel lines out, take this side off first. And when you take this side off, make sure you pull it from here and you just twist this way and pull at the same time. Because if you yank it this way or that way, or even up and down, you break this off and the little sleeve that goes in through here, it's stuck in the carb and you're screwed after that. You're going to have to get a whole another replacement for this, and then you got to drill out the hole again, and it's a nightmare. Take it from me, I've done it. You don't want to go there. Just be very careful. Alright, so there's that. She's back together. Now we can reattach the choke for now. Start by putting the lever in first. Doesn't really matter if it's on backwards or not, because like I said, we're going to take this all the way back apart again. We're just trying to get it running. See how she runs and stuff. And I'm going to pour a little bit of gas in the tank, because really I want it to run off of the tank. We could fire it on a prime. We could pour gas down in the carburetor and do that, but not. We're beyond that. Get all the mechanical stuff done first, and then we can get to the fun stuff, the painting and sanding and all that. Alright, now let's throw our gas tank cover back on. Tight. Alrighty. Gas cap. Alright. Let's ooh. Yeah, man. See, I'm seeing a good bit of scoring in there. That's alright. I got something for it. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Hoping it does. I mean, because look, it does have compression. It's not terrible. Throw the handlebar on it really quick. And then we are going to take this baby outside and see what she does.
Dad,
Yeah?
I'm still doing your live stream?
Yes.
What is your channel name?
You don't know my channel name, Dave?
No.
It's called Texas Chainsaw Restorations. My little daughter wants to watch my live stream. My youngest. Thank you for your support, honey. Huh? Restorations. honestly, we don't have to put the bottom screws back in. I just wanted to do that. Just to have something to hold on to while we're running it. Pop the clutch cover back on real quick. So the saw will sit flush. This just has to be finger tight. All right. You know what? I do have neighbors. So, screw them. Screw them. It's going to be loud without the muffler, but hey. Leo says I'm supposed to get 1 to 2 feet. You must be up. That's right. You are up north. Yeah, man. It's that time of year. I think my old lady is calling me. I'll have to decline her call. Because we've gone too far to stop now. So real quick, throw the air filter cover on. The air filter. Well, you know what? Actually, no, we're not going to do that because I want to be able to see the thing. Hang on. Okay, we're still here. Primal Bandit. Yes. If you have, yeah, send me an email. I'd be interested for sure. I buy as many of those parts as I possibly can. Depending on what you have, you list it on eBay and get a good chunk of change for certain stuff. Like if you have 245A handlebar, like the early dipped one, you know, that's got the dipped rubber that goes from here to here, that'll fetch $60 on eBay. If you have a set of tops, 245A tops, you know, you sell them $50 a piece individually, or you sell them as a pair for $85. That's just what I do. Clutch covers. My email, boyinblack09@gmail.com. boyinblack09@gmail.com. I will 100% check out what you got, and I'll snag it up off you. Mufflers, clutch covers, fan covers, stuff like that. I buy all that stuff for these things, man, because I do a lot of restoration, so and I can't just go buy these parts anywhere. All right, so let's bundle up, folks, because we're going outside and it's cold. Primal Bandit, I see Michael Myers on your thing. I'm a big Myers fan myself. Y'all, this is going to be the moment of truth here. See if we can get this sucker to fire up. And it may not, but I will tell you that if it doesn't, we've already, through the process of elimination, covered quite a few bases. Well, we're going out. First things first, set this up. Set y'all up so you can see what's going on. Brought my screwdriver for tuning. $30-1. I mean, and it might need another fuel filter if it doesn't pull off of here. We're about to find out. Alright. This on, throttle lock. Here we go. Pop. Well, heard that. Turn the idle screw out some. Saw so much dirt blow off of those fins. Alright, so let's tune it. Turn this little bit out a little bit. So the ignition didn't cut it off, so. But, hey man, I got it idling. It ran off of the tank, sucked fuel. So, yeah. I mean, you can hear when it wants to idle down, and it's not. Oh, we got some oil leaking there. Like a lot of oil, actually. Which is normal for it to spout off oil as it's running. That's the automatic oiling system. But that's kind of excessive. So I'll have to address that. For it to be coming out of the clutch cover like that. Hoping that the threads on that bar stud aren't compromised, because then I'll have to replace the whole oil tank itself. But we'll see. But man, there's half the battle right there. But the reason why I think it's not idling back down right away is because of the scoring in the piston. But boy, it knocked a lot of dirt off of there. I wonder how long it's been since that saw ran like that. So yeah, there you have it. So with that, folks, I think that's going to do it for the stream today, for this part at least. We did get it running. Now I'm going to let it cool off and dry out a little, because I don't want to bring that thing right back inside after I just ran it. It would stink real bad. And then I'll take it back apart and do the cleaning and all that. And we're going to go inside and see what's going on with the oiler in there. all that. I'm looking forward to it. So thank you guys for watching, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it.